All right, let's talk about something that affects a ton of people. If you've got some extra cash, money just sitting around, chances are you've tucked it away in a savings account, right? It feels like the smart, responsible thing to do. But, and this is a big but, what if I told you that for most of us, that's actually a really common and pretty costly mistake? Yeah, let's get into why that is. So I want you to really think about this for a second. That extra cash you've got parked on the sidelines, is it actually working for you? I mean, is it pulling its weight or is it just sitting there? For a surprising number of people, the honest answer is probably no, it's not. And look, we're not talking about chump change here. The numbers are pretty staggering. Half of all Americans have more than 8 grand just sitting in savings. Think about that. When you add all of that up across the country, well, that's a massive pile of missed opportunity. All that money could be earning more for people and doing it just as safely. Okay, now let's be super clear about something. I am not talking about your emergency fund. That money, your crucial 3 to 6 months of living expenses, that stays exactly where it is. Liquid, safe, easy to grab. Don't touch it. What we're talking about today is the extra cash, the money on top of that. The cash you're saving for a down payment or a new car or maybe a wedding. So if a savings account isn't the best place for it, where should you put it? Well, there's an answer that a lot of financial pros swear by, and it's what we're going to break down right now. It's something called a short-term treasury bill, or T-bill for short. And honestly, it might just be the smartest, most powerful alternative out there for your cash. So what in the world is a T-bill? It's actually super simple when you break it down. Just think of it like a short-term IOU from the US government. Seriously, you're basically lending the government your money for a really short time. We're talking like 1 to 3 months, and in return, they promise to pay you back with interest. That's it. It's incredibly straightforward. And if you're thinking, is this really safe? Well, let me put it this way. You know Warren Buffett, right? Only one of the most successful investors of all time. His company, Berkshire Hathaway, has parked hundreds of billions of dollars in T-bills. Yeah, when a guy like Buffett puts that much cash into something, you know it's about as safe as it gets. It's definitely worth paying attention to. Okay, so let's put these two head to head, T-bills versus the good old high-yield savings account. How do they really stack up? Well, there are 3 key advantages that T-bills have, and they make a pretty compelling case for why they're the smarter choice, especially in today's world. All right, here's the tale of the tape. In one corner, we have T-bills, which, by the way, we can easily buy through something called an ETF. More on that in a bit. In the other corner, high-yield savings accounts. The big punches for T-bills, they usually have a higher payout, a huge tax advantage, and they're backed by the full faith and credit of the U.S. government itself. So let's break down each of those points. First up, the yield. This is basically the interest rate you get paid. And right now, T-bills just consistently pay out more. You know how you see those high-yield savings accounts advertising some amazing rate? Well, a lot of the time, there's a catch, right? It's like an intro rate that disappears after a few months, or you need to have a giant pile of money in there to even qualify. T-bill rates are just, well, they're more competitive and a lot more straightforward. But honestly, this next point is the real game changer. It's the biggest advantage hands down. It's all about taxes. See, when you earn interest from a savings account, you get taxed on it. Federal tax, state tax, local tax, the whole shebang. But the interest you earn from T-bills, it is completely, 100% exempt from state and local taxes. And if you live in a state with high income tax, like California or New York, this is a massive deal. Let's make this real with a quick example. Imagine you have $10,000. You put it in a T-bill earning 4%, and after a year, you've made $400. Nice. Now, let's say you put it in a high-yield savings account at 3.75%. You earn $375. Still pretty good, right? But wait, now the tax man comes for his cut. Assuming a 10% state and local tax, that's $37.50 gone. You're left with less than $338. With the T-bill, you keep the entire $400. That's a huge difference. That's real money that stays in your pocket, not the government's. Okay, so at this point, you're probably thinking, all right, this sounds great, but how do I actually do it? It sounds complicated. And I get it, but trust me, it's not. The easiest way by far is to use something called an ETF, which stands for Exchange Traded Fund. And it's way simpler than it sounds. Let's walk through it right now. Seriously, it boils down to just 4 easy steps. 1, you open a brokerage account online. Think Fidelity, Schwab, Vanguard, any of those guys. 2, you move your extra cash into that account. 3, you use the search bar and type in the symbol for a T-bill ETF. And 4, you click buy. That's it. You're buying shares just like you would a stock. It's that simple. And if you're wondering what to search for, here are a few of the most popular ticker symbols. You've got SGOV, BIL, or SHV. These are all great options. Now, there is one little thing to know about, and it's called the expense ratio. Think of it as a tiny convenience fee for managing the fund. For example, SGOVs is just 0.09%. That means for every $10,000 you have in there, you're paying a measly $9 a year. It's a tiny price to pay for this kind of easy access and all those benefits. All right, before we finish up, I've got one last very important point to make. It's a crucial piece of this whole puzzle, just to make sure we're managing expectations here. And here it is. This is a savings alternative. It is not an investment that's going to make you rich. You have to think of this as a supercharged, smarter savings account. Its whole purpose is to keep your short-term cash safe, keep it liquid, and squeeze every last drop of return out of it. Not to be a get-rich-quick scheme. So there you have it. Your cash is now officially optimized. It's working as hard for you as it possibly can in the short term. But that just leads to the next logical question, doesn't it? How do you build real wealth? Once your savings are handled, what's the plan for building that long-term, life-changing money? And well, that's a whole other journey.